No, I don't want to comment on what my own party leader has said. He has his own reasons for saying it. We can't, therefore, be in a position where we are going to lose that or have it diminish significantly. What Mr. Trump has issued is a unilateral statement. We have to see how the two governments talk to each other. So I wasn't targeting Prime Minister Modi. I was not targeting any individual. Part of the problem in our system is too many frivolous cases are allowed to function, and as a result, the process itself becomes the punishment. Whoever is going to become Vice President will be the nominee of the ruling party. I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm genuinely not aware of these details. Now, I was very privileged today to be in a conversation with our former Chief Justice, Dhananjay Chandrachud, about the Constitution, and particularly on the basis of my book, Our Living Constitution, on the platform of the IIMUN, which has been doing some amazing work to create a network of intelligent, engaged, socially committed students throughout the country. And what I was very happy about was that today was an audience of law students for whom this is not only work and a textbook, but it's also part of their life. And the Constitution is part of all our lives. That's why I call it our living Constitution. It lives and breathes and changes and adapts to the needs of the nation. And to my mind, as our country evolves, the Constitution really has to be, in the Prime Minister's words, our holy book. And that's why it's so important to understand it and discuss the issues involved in it. That's what today's conversation was about, and I was very happy to.
So there was a narrative in the Lok Sabha elections that Constitution khatre mein hai. So do you think really the Constitution was in danger?
I think it's extremely important that the Constitution must be preserved and fought for. You know, our rights should not be taken for granted. We should always be conscious that the Constitution may give us rights, but it's up to us to give that meaning. And I think today's conversation suggested the depths to which all these issues of our rights and our freedoms can go.
Opposition leaders have been questioning the fundamental of Constitution, stating that how certain institutions are somewhat under pressure and are nearly dead to the government.
I think there has been a genuine concern about whether all our institutions are working as they should. It's our job to fight for our own rights, and it's our job in our country to ensure that not just the letter of the Constitution, but the spirit of the Constitution is fulfilled. That was one of the conversations that we had today as well. Ambedkar Sahab used to speak about constitutional morality. We must infuse that morality into the operations of the Constitution.
Sir, who will be the next Vice President?
No idea. I know the question was asked today, and as I said, all we know is that it will be somebody whom the ruling party nominates, because we already know the composition of the electorate. It's the two houses of parliament. Unlike the presidential election, where the state assemblies also vote, for the vice president it's only Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So we already know who has the majority. I think it's fairly clear that whoever is going to become vice president will be the nominee of the ruling party. I hope they consult the opposition too, but who knows?
Sir, after 17 years, the Malegaon judgment is now to the fore. However, it is gaining controversy with every passing day.
Which judgment, sorry?
The Malegaon blast case.
Yes.
It is gaining controversy every passing day. Now, Sadhu Pragya Singh today in her statement goes on stating that how PM Modi's name was being tried to be implicated into the said case. They were being pressurized to pull out his name. Earlier yesterday, one of the ATS officers who was part of the investigation had revealed that how RSS Mohan Bhagwat was also targeted. Certain ATS officers were under pressure from the then Congress regime.
I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm genuinely not aware of these details. To be honest, a tragedy occurred, justice should be done, and the process has to be pursued. But these other details I'm really not competent to comment on.
So what do you think about Donald Trump's remark on Indian economy that it is dead, and Rahul Gandhi echoing the same sentiment?
No, I don't want to comment on what my own party leader has said. He has his own reasons for saying it. My concern is much more that this relationship with the US as a strategic partnership and as an economic relationship is important for us. We are exporting something like $90 billion worth of goods to America. We can't, therefore, be in a position where we are going to lose that or have it diminish significantly. Now, some people say, oh, that's only 2% of our GDP, but in terms of a percentage of our exports, it's considerable. America is, for us, one of our largest markets. And so when we look at this whole tariff question, we must wish our negotiators strength and courage in working out a fair deal for India, and at the same time in making whatever in negotiation, you always give some, you take some. There's got to be some flexibility that they need to show. But at the same time, there are some fundamental questions of national interest they will not and cannot cross. But ultimately, for me, it seems to me that we need to preserve an export market in America, but we should also be talking to other countries, other regions about exporting our goods there. We've already got a free trade agreement now with the UK, which has tremendous potential. We are well advanced in talks with the EU. If we have a good agreement with the EU, with Japan, with other countries, we may be able to some degree to make up for whatever we end up losing in the US. But we can't lose everything. We have to preserve some things. And to my mind, this is a task where we have to support our negotiators to bring us a good result.
So leaders from the party have been stating that how Congress leaders have been questioning that how PM Modi is failing or is somewhat being afraid to speak to Donald Trump.
No. I think these negotiations are taking place, frankly, at a working level, which is the right level for these things to be done. And I think we have to see what comes out of the process. What Mr. Trump has issued is a unilateral statement. We have to see how the two governments talk to each other. And these are very substantial delegations. We are talking about not 2 or 3 people talking, we're talking about sometimes hundreds of people on the two governments talking to each other. A lot of details have to be worked out. Let's see how it comes out. Let's not comment before an outcome is achieved.
Supreme Court has directed to close the case regarding that defamation case, regarding your remark targeted towards PM Modi. What do you think?
Look, I mean, I wasn't targeting Prime Minister Modi. I was not targeting any individual. I had written a book in which I quoted an article published in 2011, which in turn quoted a statement by an individual in those days in the RSS, who subsequently was rehabilitated by the BJP and has served as the Prabhari of the BJP in Eastern UP. So the person who said it, there is no case against him. The person who quoted it in print in 2011, there is no case against him. But me, for 6 years later, quoting the quote in a book, there's a case against me. I mean, this makes no sense at all. So we have been trying to get the case dismissed because all I'm doing is I'm writing a detailed book full of footnotes. And in a footnote, I've said this is the source. An article in the Caravan magazine quoting a then unnamed RSS person, but he's no longer unnamed because his video is all over the internet saying this. It's not my sentence. I'm quoting a quote. And yet there has been a case filed against me. So I think it's not surprising that the court said, why do you want to be like, why did you drop the case? But they're not willing to drop the case, it seems, so some of these things will drag on. As I was saying during this discussion, part of the problem in our system is too many frivolous cases are allowed to function, and as a result, the process itself becomes the punishment. At the end of the day, this is dragged on for so many years. My book was published in 2017. This is now 2025. And this is dragging on and on. Half the time the complainant doesn't come to the court, it's adjourned, it prolongs. I honestly think that one of the things we all have to think about in our country is the judiciary's time always being well spent on worthwhile cases? Or are a lot of our judges wasting a lot of time on frivolous complaints which are done often for political motives? I remember one case against me was dismissed by a judge in the Delhi High Court, describing it as a political interest litigation, a different kind of PIL. There is a lot of political interest cases, unfortunately, and this is one of them.